Oh, someone sent me Buzz Rossfield's number. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Day.Sports. It has been a huge weekend after Magic Round. I'm starting to actually feel like a human being after a couple of days of recovery. If you're watching this, you're probably already wondering, why am I sitting here wearing a Warriors jersey? That is a very good question. Let me explain myself. So I lost a bet over the weekend at Magic Round. I feel like I'm cheating on the Brisbane Broncos. I was roped into a bet with Clementine from SC Playbook. I might have been a little bit overconfident in my Broncos playing the Warriors on the weekend. We basically had a bet, so whoever's team won had to wear the other jersey on their podcast the next time they're on. And yeah, obviously the Broncos didn't win this one. And look, I'm a man of my word, so here we are in the Warriors jersey. So I think for today, up the waz. Yeah, a bit of a recap of Magic Round before we get into the reviews of the games and predictions for this week. It's obviously a bye round. Back to the regular schedule program. I'll timestamp everything as I usually do, so go find what you want to watch in this. We've got plenty of news, some stuff going on at Penrith. We've obviously got the Origin teams, bit of a recap of Magic Round, and of course tips and predictions coming up for, I don't even know what round we're in at this stage, round 12, 13, I've lost track of it all, round 12. So do get around all that. Like I was saying, we'll just get straight into a little bit of a Magic Round recap. So it was an unreal weekend. Shout out to every single person that I met there over the weekend. It was awesome, like particularly in content creators. Like to shout out Joel from League of Inches in particular, putting on the podcast Recovery Royale there at Caxton Street Brewing Co on Sunday. That was great. Like, so many content creators from Sydney or different parts of Queensland, whether they be up north, down south, whatever it is. And you know, you chat with people online, but it's actually nice to, you know, put faces to names, shake hands, have beers, have a good time, help each other with content. So that was really, really cool. I made one of the all-time shirts of Magic Round, I'd like to say. I think there were maybe some other content creators or podcasters out there that had some good ones, but this one of one, technically I suppose two of one, because I accidentally made one too big, which I've still got to send to a mate, but Day.Sports Magic Round shirt, it was an absolute hit. A lot of people definitely saw the video that I did with Tyson Bennett, the camera fan, with the QR code right there, which has Dozer slotting that field goal in the finals game last year, which was just unreal. But yeah, it was a really, really great event. Now, there was a lot of blowouts throughout Magic Round, like so many teams, including mine, absolutely getting pumped, which sucks. So it was one of those things, but the rest of the weekend very much made it worth it. It was just awesome. Magic Round's always the greatest time. And I'll have some other bits of content coming out soon. I've got a few film cameras that I need to get developed, so that's going to have like a ton of photos from the weekend, which is going to be really sick as well. And if anyone else has been in Brisbane the last couple of days, it has been bucketing down, literally just non-stop rain. So missing all that at Magic Round was fucking better than Lego, because if it had been raining like that, it would have been miserable unless you're undercover. But even then, just trying to get to and from would have been a really rough time. But yeah, Magic Round, great time as always. And I do apologize if the audio cuts out at various points. I've been having a bit of an issue with the recording system the last maybe like 2 weeks, where there'll just be sections that just get cut out completely. So if you've ever been listening and it just sounds like I go from one point completely across the map, that's basically what's been happening. So fingers crossed. I'm trying not to touch any cords or do anything like that to cause an issue. So hopefully we're all sweet. Alrighty, both Origin teams came out Monday morning. Now there's already been a ton of content creators having a chat about this, but they really need to do something more exciting, a little bit more special than just like the team's getting leaked through bloody journos and then they post it on Instagram and that's basically it. Like, there needs to be, whether it's at the like perfect opportunity, and I suppose it gets a little bit tricky with it being potentially across different broadcasters, whatever, but Sunday night, Matty John show, have both of the coaches on, read out the team list from there, like, you know, get it all sorted, whether or not they're still finalising things, but surely they've got it all sorted by the end of the last game on Sunday. That would just make it so much cooler. And hey, funny that, you've got all the players besides whichever buy round team it is already there. You could call them up on stage, have it in front of a ton of fans, like whatever it is. And that's just one of the ideas. I'm full of good ones. If you want to pay me to just write ideas down, I can do that for you. But there's so many better ways they could potentially be doing that, considering it's like the highlight, you know, for a lot of people that watch rugby league, or a lot of people that don't even watch, you know, most of the games, but they're paying attention to what's going on in Origin. So I feel like they can do a whole lot more with it. So we're going to get into the teams. So New South Wales, I'll have a little bit of a chat about. Being a Queenslander, do I really care what the New South Welshmen do? Nah, not really. One player I know that I'm definitely terrified though is going to be Adam Fanua-Blake, but we'll get to that when we get to the New South Wales team list. So first things first, Queensland team list. So this is a bit of a reaction. I haven't really written any notes or even really bothered. A lot of this kind of picks itself, I suppose. There were definitely, a handful of positions that seemed to have been up in the air, which there's been some selections. I'm like, whoa, did not expect that at all. Was not on my lotto ticket. Few names in, few names out that probably should have been there or thereabouts anyway. So we'll go through it and I'll give you my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this. Now, Kalen Ponga been picked at fullback. Dude's been in unreal form since coming back from injury. I really, really thought they were going to go with Reece Walsh, considering it's Reece Walsh, like literally on his day, best player in the bloody game, Australian fullback, so on and so forth. My only thoughts is, and I haven't really read too much news, I think there's been a massive talking point. My only thought is like KP is probably been a little bit more consistent recently, but Reece as well, coming back from that cheekbone fracture, it's like maybe that's got something to do with it as well. He's a little bit banged up, and really selfishly, as much as I'd love to, actually I'd much prefer he plays for Queensland, but I won't say no to having him there for the buy-round footy when it comes to the Broncos. So we take those. The wing positions, Suan Cobbo and Jojo Fafita, these were the two positions that I thought were really up in the air. Suan Cobbo, love to see Big Throbbo out there in the Queensland jersey. I think the kid absolutely loves it. So talented, and he has been in good nick as well. So it's kind of, I wouldn't have if you'd asked me a few weeks ago, definitely at the start of the season, I would have said, yeah, no chance. But with Xavier Coates and a few other players been injured, it's like, it's really opening those doors to other people. And in he goes, Jojo Fafita. Now that was a real smoker. That nobody would have been guessing that, but he's been playing great footy for the Titans. In he goes. The centers, I felt like these two really picked themselves. Robbie Toyer played great last year, been going pretty well for the not the Dolphins, bloody Roosters. Hammer, easy in there. Cam Munster, bang. Captain. Sammy Walker. This was a position that could have been filled by a lot of players, obviously losing Dearden. I think what signed and sealed this 1,000%, and who knows, he might have got it anyway, but Tanner Boyd doing I believe his ACL or whatever, he's out for some time, which was just terrible. Like right on the cusp, probably would have been in the squad even. To get injured absolutely sucks. This is one that was another bit of a surprise for me. I thought he was going to be in the squad somewhere, but named at starting prop. Tommy Flegler, the banana farm, has been named, which I love to see. Now, coming back from the injury that just about ended his career, to make it all the way back into the starting side of Origin, it is unreal. So having him and Tino in the front row to start things off, two absolute psychos basically in the front row that are just going to be folding New South Welshmen left, right and centre. So love to see that for Tommy Flegler. That's one of the all-time rugby league tales. Back row, Ruben Cotter and Curdy Capewell. I think Cotter was always going to be locked in this one. Curdy Capewell, I was like, he's super experienced, been there, done that. I was like, oh, they're going to give younger fellas a go sort of thing. I thought they were going to go with Finay Fuiaki or Hilam Lukey in there. So Finay Fuiaki obviously named at 20, so we've jumped forward a little bit there. But no Hilam Lukey, which I thought is a little bit interesting. Especially if Dearden was playing, just would have gone straight in there, run off the bloody short ball to Preston basically to him. What else we got? Maxi Plath. I had him at 14 if I was going to be picking him. Again, lucky I'm not the bloody coach, but Maxi Plath in there. Now, I really feel like, and there might be a bit of bias a little bit for Paddy the Painter here, but I thought Paddy Carrigan basically would have had that spot locked up. He's been an absolute workhorse, particularly with Payne Haas being out, but congratulations to Maxi Plath as well. A lot of Queenslanders absolutely froth him. He's been playing unreal footy, so it's great to see him in there as well. And then Britton Nickera with the new rule changes slotting in. So that's a kind of one that would have flown on the radar for a few people. Loves to run an absolutely brilliant line, so I can't complain about that. Lindsay Collins, of course, jumps over fullbacks, could be fullback, absolute goat. Paddy Carrigan, Paddy the Painter, Trent Liero, interesting pick. Ezra Mam and Gemmet Shibasaki. Now, those are two as well that I was like, that's a little bit interesting. Gemmet makes sense depth-wise, and, Australian player, played for Queensland, did the damn thing last year, so it's not that out of the way. Ezra Mam, I feel like, has had some good games this season, but maybe he's dropped off a little bit. But at the same time, like maybe they're just running out of depth in the halves. But either way, congratulations to all the fellas who have made it into the team, making debuts. It's not a bad looking team at all. There are a few players that, potentially could be in there. You hear Helam Lukies of the world. Guys like that. Obviously, there's, quite a few injuries. So these teams could really change between game 2 and 3 coming up. But I don't hate it. I don't hate what the Bush Poet Billy has managed to scrape by in this at all. And then, of course, rounding it out with a Finay Fuiaki. But I believe he'll be playing this week anyway. But, yeah, a lot of people have opinions over Shibasaki, if he should be in there. And it's like, look, has he played as well as he has last year? Probably not, but I feel like in a team like this, he's got all the opportunity in the world. The only thing missing is going to be that Reece Walsh bloody short ball. Thanks for coming. But that's your Queensland team. That's your Queensland squad, should I say, for the first game this season. And where's that? It's down in Sydney. Big task, but I don't hate it at all. I'm trying to think who else would probably go in there. So yeah, Helam Lukey and then Reece Walsh is really the only one that comes to mind that like really stands out, being like, yeah, probably should have or could have been in there, particularly over some of the guys like, for example, maybe Ezra Mam or someone like that. But yeah, you never know. More stuff might come out about it. At least we know who's in our team compared to New South Wales, obviously. They've been picking people who bloody retired 400 years ago, supposedly. Old Laurie Daly doesn't know what's doing with it, but we'll have a look at the New South Wales team. I haven't really mellowed over this one as much, but we'll have a little. Again, I've got no notes written down today for this, so whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. I can even use a computer. New South Wales Blues. All right. I got a big old photo there of Adam Fanua-Blake. Terrifying. Alrighty. So, James Tedesco. Obviously, it was going to be a battle between him and Dylan Edwards. Teddy, though, has just been red hot. He's played himself straight back into this team. Could have gone either way, so I feel like no one could be mad in this situation. I've seen a lot of New South Wales Blues fans being like, our team's cooked, like, might as well give it to Queensland now. And I'm like, from glancing over it, I'm not seeing the same thing. I feel like both of these teams are quite different to what we've seen in previous years. So it's like flip of the coin, anything can happen. I don't think you could sit there and go, yep, this team outside of obviously New South Wales not getting Origin and Queensland just getting it, probably is a little bit more of a coin flip compared to other seasons. But yeah, Teddy, Brian To'o picks himself. Stephen Crichton, injury-free. Yeah, makes sense. Katoni Staggs going to be back in the team, which I love to see. Obviously, the Latrell Mitchell, a little bit banged up. I think back issue or whatever's going on with him. So Staggs, again, has just been absolutely amazing. The last few seasons, I'd say, he's probably even deserved a centre spot in here. And for once, New South Wales aren't picking 5,000 fullbacks, or at least that's just my 2 cents of it. Tolu Kola, which I really wouldn't have expected. Well, actually, that's a lie. He's been playing ridiculously. Playing on the wings, terrifying, actually, with the speed that he has. Like, if he gets, like, just the tiniest little bit of pace, and we saw what he did on the weekend, he can break tackles and just take off. So that is a little bit scary considering the form that he's in. Mitchy Moses goes in at 6. Nathan Cleary there at 7. Basically picked themselves. We know this. Under the new rules, Adam Fanua-Blake comes in. I feel like he's what Stefano thinks he is, or can actually back it up. So Adam Fanua-Blake, terrifying. Hate that. Reece Robson, yep, sweet. Mitchy Barnett, Mitch from across the ditch, playing himself back into form. Managed to keep Jackson Ford off the bloody starting rotation there against the Broncos the other week. So Australian rep player. Makes sense, doesn't it? Huddy Young, yeah. Homole Olakawatu. He's been there, done that, but actually starting there and, properly having a run on the back row, again, terrifying considering the form that he's in. He's just going to run over people, but some teams have been able to shut him down and manage him, so we'll see. Isaiah Yeo there, captain. Cam Murray being back is absolutely massive. I think these are some of the contentious ones, I suppose. So Victor Radley and Jacob Saifiti. Sure, but it's like at the end of the day, well, no, I can understand these ones a little bit more actually. Jackson Ford not being picked at all kind of makes no rugby league sense whatsoever, considering he is coming behind Nathan Cleary on daily M points at the moment, and that's not the be all or end all, but the dude is in red hot career form and not even getting a shoe in on the extended bench. Yeah, don't know if you got this one right, Loza. Yeah, bit of an odd selection, I suppose. I'm not saying anything bad about these players. Like, good on them for getting picked. And then Blake Brayley, obviously, unreal. Ethan Strange, great. Casey, not Maguire, Casey McLean in there. And Dilly Lucas rounding out the 20s. So it's definitely not a bad team at all. There are some players that did miss out, obviously, that, yeah, probably could have squeezed in there. The main one that comes to mind, Jackson Ford. I probably should have had a couple looks at notes. What else we got doing here? So Fidi Bradley, Terrell May, Alex Twal. I think a few of them are injured at the moment. Edwards on the extended bench, that would make sense. and people asking for Ivan Cleary already, which wouldn't surprise me at all. And yeah, speaking of the devil, and this feels like it's happened 5,000 years ago at this stage, just with the way rugby league content and the news cycle works and everything. But it came out, I think, maybe just after I did the podcast last week, that Ivan Cleary, they did a press conference. I think it was on the Thursday, I'd like to say. Wednesday, whichever day it was. News broke that there was going to be a press conference there at Penrith in relation to the Clearys, whether it was Ivan, Nathan, both, whatever the situation was going to be. And Peter Wallace was sitting there with him, so people are like, that's interesting. And Ivan's come out and he's like, yep, after 2027, I'm going to be packing up my bags as the coach of the Penrith Panthers. Created one of the greatest dynasties of all time. One of the great teams. Like, in the modern day era, there's no arguments about which is the greatest team. And being at the head of that table is just ridiculous. So everything he's achieved, undeniable at this stage. Like, he's at the table in my eyes, and I feel like a lot of people's eyes, with Wayne, with Bellyache, with, coaches like that and what they've achieved throughout their career. And yeah, whatever role he's going into, who knows? It's going to be a really interesting situation, I feel like, there with the PNG situation, with the Bears, with their salary cap, like various different things that are going on over the next couple of years. I think like a shit ton of their players are coming off contract and can negotiate at the end of this season. So what is it, after October or fucking whenever the bloody negotiation periods start? I used to joke about it, but I feel like it's becoming like more and more of a possibility or potentially reality as Nathan Cleary actually leaving the Penrith Panthers. They're going to do everything under the sun to keep him there, obviously, throw all the big cha-ching at him, the brown paper bags, everything Nathan needs. But the story of him going to the Super League to sip rosé there somewhere in like southern France or playing bloody rugby union in Europe's starting to not look so crazy at this stage. It's like bloke's literally achieved everything under the sun. His old man's left. A lot of players are probably going to be leaving, either going PNG or here, there, or everywhere, whatever that's, going to be happening. It's like, well, kind of done it all. My missus is over there. I can just kind of go get paid fat stacks anyway. Don't have to live in a compound. And yeah, happy days. So it'll be interesting what's going to happen with him. Oh, I just thought of another player, actually, come to think of it, with the New South Wales team. Liam Martin, of all people. A bloke that is terrifying when he puts on a Blues jersey. Not being in there is a little bit interesting. But anyway, and he's another player with Penrith. Who knows? He could be out the door as well. You've got Isaiah Yeo, Edwards, all these guys. Like, maybe they're only going to hang on to one or two of them. Maybe they'll hang on to all of them. It's really hard to know. We don't have a bloody crystal ball, and we'll be able to see. But it's undeniable, the rumours and the whispers around the about Luai maybe having a bit of a hand in who's going to be in this PNG team. And Lord knows he's got connections for days with the Penrith boys. And look, I've spoken about it over the last few weeks. You'd almost be crazy not to go and get that PNG cha-ching, that brown paper bag over there, tax-free, especially if you got it for 10 years. Like, some of those guys could really soak that up. So, and even, who knows, Nathan might go bloody Super League, then to PNG or something, really cash in the money. So, yeah, unreal that everything he's achieved in his career, coaching wise, and there's every possibility Penrith can probably snag another another premiership before he's done too. So they'll make it 5 in the last handful in the last decade, which is ridiculous if you think about it. Like, we're so brainwashed or programmed, I suppose, now of Penrith just winning grand finals. It was a real circuit breaker last year when the Broncos won. It was like, oh, thank Christ this is done. But we're so expecting them to do the same thing, particularly the way that they're playing. But yeah, all sorts going on there. But all right, let's go through a little bit of a Magic Round recap. So Magic Round tips was, look, I've seen better days. I've definitely seen better days. 4 out of 8, I believe. So yeah, bit of a shocker. I look back on some of these and I'm like, look, I'm not proud of it, but I've got to stick to what I say. I never change tips to do anything like that. Once they're in, they're in. Slipped a little bit in the rankings, that hurts, but yeah, first one there, my own binding contract and my agreement with myself that I will not back the Sharks until they win 3 in a row really, really hurt me in this one, because they went out there and absolutely towed up the Bulldogs. They genuinely made it look easy. Every time they got down their end, I swear they were just scoring try after try. We all know that Nico Hines in the wet is a little bit scary and a bit of a mythical animal there. Sharks have 3 Trindles out there somewhere. The amount of fans who are getting confused against Braden Trindle, Kennedy, and whoever, I think they're 9 or 14 was. Sorry, I don't know the name off the top of my head. But yeah, there's 3 of them running out there. But I think the Bulldogs, their entire night, entire night was summed up in that Lachlan Galvin bomb try. Cheeks out, ball popping out, no try. That's the game. That was the game. That's basically how it went. Fins up, actually, this time around. They got it done pretty easily over the Rabbithos. So the Rabbithos, particularly with Trell back, no doubt, though, he could not have been at 1,000% at all. But, Dolphins have been playing some really good footy the last couple of weeks. I shouldn't have doubted them there at Suncorp Stadium, to be fair. So that was a little bit of a bummer that, they kind of just walked all over them and they're just like, yeah, sweet. Manly absolutely flogged the Tigers. Now, they were very lucky. They just avoided their second 50-point curse for the round, but it would have sucked for anybody that was coming up against the bloody Manly Fosball Ringer Seagulls at this stage, because they are humming, and as a Broncos fan, kind of glad that we haven't played them like previous years. Not exactly, not everything went great for us anyway, but yeah, they were ridiculous. And Kohler's try, I accidentally called him Cooler last week, and people absolutely roasted me for that, and fair enough too, but Kohler's try was ridiculous. Like, absolutely burnt people with pace. I think he broke, I'd like to say, 300, 400, 500 tackles on his way to the try line. As soon as he just gets that like a little meter of space, you're like, oh, he's gone. And that's the really gross thing about the Manly Seagulls. Like, there is a handful of players on their team that if they get away, there's nobody in like the entire NRL that can actually catch them. The only ones that probably could catch them are on their own team backing them up. So, yeah, good luck with that. Falolo threw one of the all-time passes as well. It was like just a no-look zinger out to Saab on the wing. He went there and just ran all over them. Tigers are in actual dramas. I will admit they've got a lot of injuries, but yeah, the way they've kind of started off this season, I feel like it is going to be rough to continue, and a lot of their fans, look, they were hurting after these games. Cowboys, they beat the Roosters. This one was so disappointing, and I've been saying it for weeks. Like, I think everyone, or I've definitely felt this game's coming for the Roosters. I've just not been 1,000% convinced. They end up with like a nice little layup, no Tommy Dearden game at Magic Round against the Cowboys, where, you know, on paper they should go out there and absolutely give them a fisting, and they lose to the Cowboys, who are missing their main origin man. Mate, that makes sense in a way, but yeah, fucking Cowboys played really well, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I just feel like nobody turned up for the Roosters at all. No, like Sammy, like after that game, I was like, oh geez, if Tanner Boyd plays well, like Sammy Walker well and truly couldn't be in this. Like, there's a chance he just misses out on that performance. At least that's how I felt watching the game. Teddy, non-existent, hurt my bloody Supercoach team, that's for sure. That's another thing, Supercoach-wise. I've realised that I'm absolutely fucked for this Origin period. I've not prepared at all. I've been steamrolling everybody in head-to-heads, like all gas, no brakes. No one's had a chance against me. I very much got humbled as well, running into some elite Supercoach players at the event the other day. Here's me, couple beers in, chatting absolute shit about how good my team is. Meanwhile, I don't even know how to check my rank. Turns out I'm about like 20,000, and they're like, yeah, ranked 2,000 and all this. I'm like, yeah, fuck. But anyway, Teddy didn't help me over the weekend on that, and the Cowboys got it done. Storm pumped the Eels. All of us basically saw this coming. I love that all the Queensland boys are starting to just really rev up into the Origin period in time that well, which is beautiful to see. Money's new Munster's new pub probably had him absolutely fired up, so he was playing great. Grant, Hughes, you name it, they were firing. It's great to see Suafa-Longo in person. Like, I've seen him play a couple times now, but just trying to guess how many goose steps he's going to do in like a run or a hit-up's always a fun time. But yeah, they went out there and pumped the Eels. Knights, they got it done over the Titans. Now, the Titans, they were in this for a while there. They were sticking into it. I think it was after the second half where it mostly took off. I'm surprised I even remember this much from these games, to be fair, but again, they just always have a little sniff around. They're just around in it. And then they're also wearing probably the greatest jersey of the entire weekend. Like, a lot of people have said it. Me and my brother have definitely talked about it, where it's like, Magic Round should just about be retro round as well. How cool it would be, like, if all the teams went out there wearing retro jerseys. And the Titans were a perfect example of that. That jersey that they brought out just looked absolutely spectacular. So maybe that's something they can do in the future, because, yeah, it'd be a great way to go about it. KP, again, looking the goods. And, yeah, you got mythical Dom Knights Young scoring tries for fun. So, yeah, you get that when you play the Knights. Now, this next one, again, a lot riding on it, a lot, as in I'm bloody doing an entire podcast in a bloody Warriors jersey. Thanks for that. So yeah, I'd be lying if I said I was truthfully confident coming into this one. I was talking a big game, but I think deep down I was like, yikes, we're going to be up for it, particularly the way the Warriors forward pack has been going. Like, overall their team, like up the waz is well and truly back for 2026. But their forward pack, when we're missing our big boys, your Payne Haas's of the world, your Corey Jensen's, guys like that, you're like, shit. And I feel like that's been a little bit of a drama as like the last couple of weeks where we are starting to play those like really big forward packs like the Roosters have and teams like that. Manly have some massive suckers on there as well. But the atmosphere for this game was absolutely elite. I was sad that I actually missed the march down from Caxton Street that all the Warriors fans went on, but I was down Caxton Street end and they were probably like the middle section and the section over from that. They were all there. I could hear them, that's for sure. I don't know if there was any bloody Broncos fans in the crowd at all. It was, and it was fans everywhere, basically. They're great. I love the Warriors fans. But yeah, their forwards, they did a job on us. The errors again hurt, and I've spoken about it so many times. Like whether the boys win or lose, going to support them. But God, just when there's the errors, it makes it rough. We had square root of fuck all of possession as well. It's like how are you going to score points when you don't have the nut? Bloody Adam Reynolds out there. That's one thing I was nearly certain of. That he was going to get like chip and chase or something and scored, and he scored 2 tries. So very good from Adam. And yeah, and of course, absolutely spewing about Tanner Boyd. Like seeing him go down, you know, again, when he's potentially going to be a shout for the Queensland team, like so rough. He's been playing like incredible footy this season. So feel for him. Hope he heals up soon. And then to add to the injury list, not trying to, overshine Tanner, but then you've got bloody Jordan Ricky, who's I think going to be out potentially for maybe a month. Don't quote me on that. Whatever it's going to be, getting surgery on like plantar fasciitis, or again, I'm not a fucking rugby league physio, but something in your foot tendon wise and so on and so forth to try to get that sorted. So yeah, losing him for a month not great either. What do you do? It's becoming a rough time there at Red Hill. They might need to re-turf that place because people have fallen apart left, right and centre. And then the last game, we got Penrith. They went easy on the Dragons, it seems, only winning 28-6. Pretty sure everybody in the stadium left for this one, myself included. The weather, again, was like perfect all the way up until this. Absolutely pissed down. And luckily, I still had my poncho with me. So, yeah, we'd seen enough by that stage. We're like, yep, game over. See you later. Alrighty, now move into tips and predictions for this week. Obviously, it's kind of a major bye week with everything going on with the State of Origin that's coming up, so there's only a handful of these games. So we'll try to be short and sweet. With it. Thursday night, is it on the Thursday? Let me have a look-see. Just make sure I got those right. Yes, Thursday night scaries. We got the Milk versus the Dolphins. I'm gonna go fins up on this one. I'm always hesitant though to pick against the Milk when they are there at Canberra, but they got a few more major players out. I suppose they're probably missing about equal, but missing a half an Ethan Strange, Huddy Young, obviously one of the best players. I feel like that's gonna, have a little bit of dramas for them. And the Dolphins have been playing incredible footy, but it's just like this one, it scares me a little bit. It feels more like a coin flip than it probably should at this stage. So, fair few outs on both sides, but I feel like there's some guns that are still remaining that aren't at all playing in Origin. Your Herbie Farnworth, your Jackie Bostock, your Azarkos. And we just got this dude, Trey Fuller, that comes in who, whenever hammers away, just rips people to shreds. So very excited for that. Yeah, I reckon the Finns are going to get up in this one. I'll be very disappointed if I've got a tendency when it comes to the Thursday games I drop them. That's why I call them Thursday night scaries. So Dolphins, don't let me down here. Jackie Bostock, he's been absolutely flying recently there at centre, like returning just a monster. I remember walking past him one night at the casino and just been like, holy fuck, you're huge. So I can see him running over the top of people, so I'm going to go with him anytime. Moving to Doggies versus Storm. I'm going Storm 1-12. Now, I don't know if I'm missing something. Have I completely lost the plot? Is like half the team out and I just haven't realised? Because the Doggies, yes, they're at home, but they are favourites over the Melbourne Storm. Melbourne, obviously not exactly lighting the world on fire, but they've started to string these wins together. against these shit sides, and doggies are in absolute drama town at the moment. Their fans are turning on them. Teams falling apart, injuries, you name it, it's going on with the Bulldogs at this stage. They're well and truly due for a win. I just don't see it happening over the Storm. Like, yeah, they're losing a couple of big guns, your Harry Grants of the world, your Munsters, Trent Liero, I suppose. You know, it's fine. Still far longer. You got the Brick there. You got Jerome Hughes there. Tyron Wishart's going to be there. Like, all these players. Oh, is Wishy still playing? I'm not sure if he got listed, actually. That might be a lie. I might have just lied straight to you. Tyron Wishart. I don't know what's doing with him. Maybe he's injured. Anyway, we move on. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's injured or whatever it is. But I still feel like they've got more than enough to go out there and pump the Bulldogs if they need to. I have very little to no faith at all in the Bulldogs, especially after them losing last week when I got on you. I was like, boys, if there's going to be one to get up for, it's when I'm tipping you. When I got a whole lot of people riding on it, and it just didn't, come out at all. So I'm going to keep riding on the Storm, and I'm going to go with Jerome Hughes anytime. Dragons versus Waz. Up the Waz, 13 plus. It would be absolutely rude not to say that. I thought this one was over in New Zealand. If it was over in New Zealand, it'd be an absolute pumping. But all I got to say is RIP the Dragons. Yes, no Tanner Boyd, no Curdy Capewell, guys like that. But I just do not see a universe that the Warriors are going to be losing this game at this stage. Like, Dragons are just in for it. Two pretty good forward packs going at it, I must say. Really strange thing that has come out of this, and I don't know if it's a typo. Someone's put someone in the wrong position, but Jaden Sewer's been named at centre. Don't know about that. That could be a little bit interesting. There's some bloody dangerous ass edge back rowers and centres that are going to be running his way, that's for sure. So, yeah, don't know really what's going on there. Still Kyle Flanagan there at 7. But, yeah, two pretty handy forward packs going on. If there's one thing I can give to the Dragons, the young forward pack they've got coming through. Oh, and speaking of which, Lukey Metcalf, who's just signed for them as well. So they've got Scotty Drinkwater, Kyle Matangi, now Luke Metcalf going there next season. So Luke Metcalf must have been like just hands like this once Tanner Boyd went down, and it looks like they've named Tiari Martin over him as well, just due to not really playing that. And Tiari Martin, don't get me wrong, he's an absolute gun. So yeah, things, I don't know. I feel like Luke Metcalf is going to be like, oh man, this hasn't worked out great, but, it is what it is. But I can't see this not being an absolute cheek clapping when it comes to the Warriors playing the Dragons, and I'm going to go with Lecker anytime. Alrighty, last two, Manly versus Titans. I'm going to go Manly 1-12, just because the Titans, they've been sniffing around. Don't get me wrong, Manly red hot form. I think they're in like the top 4. It's at Brookie. Sunday Arvo. Is it Sunday Arvo? Let me have a look. Sunday Arvo, surely. Saturday Arvo. Saturday evening. The hill will be absolutely pumping. People are going to be frothing it. Their fans are up and about. They're loving life at the moment. From going sacking your coach to top 4 and just pumping teams. And I think one loss under Fosball the entire time, and that was against fucking Penrith. So, not bad at all. And particularly the Titans not having the Mayor GC there, Tino, to rev up the troops and get them going. So, that might hurt them a little bit. Again, the Titans, I feel like they have been doing all right, but anything can kind of happen in these bye rounds. Like, they're that woo-woo footy area where just strange things happen. So, whether or not we're going to get one of those, I don't think so. I feel like Manly are going to be well and truly enough. Is Fogarty playing? Let's have a gaze. Yeah, Fogarty's in there. He's just going to kick him to death, and I'm going to go with Jason Saab anytime. All right, last one. I truly do think this one, Rabbithos versus Cows, is an absolute coin flip if I've ever seen one. I'm not feeling confident in either of these teams to go them, so we'll see. But far north of the wall up there in Townsville, I'm going to go with the Cowboys 1-12 because I've got to pick somebody. You can't please everybody. Literally, God knows who's going to win this one, though. Like, Cowboys, they'll probably lose this one like 30 plus after beating the Roosters up there at home. Like, that's just something that they would do. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm assuming there's no Latrell Mitchell. Latrell Sigwell, Tallis Duncan in the centres as well. Interesting. No Cam Murray. And what is it? Cowboys, they're not really missing anybody that I can think of. So, yeah, Plenty of big dogs either injured or going to be out for the Rabbithos when it comes to Origin in this period as well. So, yeah, it will be interesting. I'm not feeling confident at all. So, please do not let me down there at home, Cowboys fans. You cannot do it to me. Not after you've gone and done that to the Roosters. But in saying that, the bloody Rabbitohs, they went and touched up the Sharks a couple of weeks ago when they were missing some big dogs too. So, it's well and truly in them, but yeah, come on, Cows. And I'm going to go with Jakey Clifford, the big red dog, to score anytime. Yeah, that's basically it for today. Sorry if I've rambled on a little bit longer than usual. Appreciate all the support recently. I might even pull up a poll at some stage about these shirts. I was planning on making these essentially like a one-of-one run just for myself to wear, but a lot of people have been asking about them, so I may put up a poll at some stage. The only reason I haven't really tried selling them is because I just don't feel like I'm at that stage yet. But these ones are kind of expensive, and if I'm going to make something, I want something that's like relatively affordable. So I'll leave it in people's hands, maybe put it up a poll and we can figure it out from there. But again, yeah, appreciate all the support and catch you guys next week.